Have you guys ever heard of the Lair? Oh, I just got done watching it about a couple days ago, and it's 98 minutes, and it's a action and horror movie. Now, I watched this the other day. You know how I get on my Badu account, and I actually looked at this, and I was like, it looked pretty interesting, and so I read the plot synopsis, and then I was like, huh. And it was like, I decided to rent it instead of buy it, because normally I buy stuff because I just like to own it. But I was like, this time, why don't you buy it? Why don't you rent it instead of buying it? That way you ain't out that much money. So it's like a $7 difference. But anyway, I'll read the plot synopsis and we'll go from there. When a Royal Air Force pilot, Lieutenant Kate Sinclair, is shot down over Afghanistan, she finds refuge in an abandoned underground bunker where deadly man-made biological weapons, half human, half alien, are awakened. And that's exactly what this movie's all about. That's why I like to read the plot synopsis, because it gives me a guideline on how to talk about this movie. But you know what's weird about this movie? When I first started watching this movie, I was engaged right off the bat. Now, I'll be honest with you, this is not a great movie by far, but I think that if some of you are like me, you might enjoy this movie. There was a lot of action in this movie. I like the cast. I thought the cast was good. There was lots of action in this movie, and what happens is she got shot down doing a routine air flight thing. But you know what was neat when she was in that airplane? Her jet. It looks like she was actually in the jet, and you felt like you was actually in the jet while she was flying the jet. And then they got shot down by these Afghanistans, and so they had to parachute out. So when they parachuted out, they were in Afghanistan territory. So they're trying to run for their life. So both her other pilot that was flying with her, he got shot down as well. But then he tried to help her up, and then he got shot because the Afghanistan came from behind him when they kind of was unconscious for a little bit when they hit the ground after parachuting down. But anyway, she was knocked out a little bit, and he was trying to revive her. So when he started to wake her up, she was coming to, and he was standing over the other pilot that got shut down with her. And then the Afghanistans, they were behind, they were off in the distance with the guns, and they were telling him to put his hands up or surrender in Afghanistan language. Well, when she was coming to, she's looking up, and he went to reach for his gun, and they shot him, okay? And they killed him. So then they're getting ready to try to subdue her. She gets away, and they shoot at her. She runs. So she's running, and she doesn't really know where she's going. So she's running, and she's looking behind. She's running, and she's shooting and stuff. She shot a couple of them, but it was more. She had just parachuted out of this jet. So she runs, and she sees this thing. It looks like a semi tractor trailer, but it looked like it was buried in sand. But it was kind of big. But when she tried to get inside, it had these great big gigantic chains. I mean, these chains was big. It wasn't like no regular chains you see, that locked up regular doors. This looked like whoever did it must not want nobody in there, but it looks like it's been there a while, so she couldn't get in. So she was kind of trapped, and she was shooting them, and she was trying to get in between that door, but she couldn't get in. And then because they had Jeeps, yeah, they had some trucks, and when they rode up on her, they was trying to shoot her and stuff. And then she happened to look, and one guy had a bazooka, those bazooka guns that has the missiles that's on the end. And he went like this, and she looked, and she knew that he was getting ready to just blow her up with that thing. Now, you know how it's got that little narrow, like a little missile on the end? And when he shot that thing, she moved out of the way, and he hit them doors. They hit them doors and blew them doors open. So, she looked in, so she started running in. So when she went to run in, it went way, 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 way. I'm talking like way, way down there. She looked down there, and she's running for her life. So she decides to run down there. So when she runs down, she climbs all the way down, and she starts going through all this. It's like an underground facility. And you can tell that it was a top secret government thing that somebody had made down there. And so they followed her down there. And then she was looking, there was these pods with these funny looking creatures in it, but they looked like half man, half something. So when they was down there shooting her, she was shooting at them. But there was this part in there where she was trying to hide from them, right? And it was so cool how they shot this. She was trying to hide from them, and so it was dark. So they were down there talking in Afghanistan, so they found this light switch. I'm watching this movie, the lights come on, and she was literally standing there like this. And I was like, oh crap, man, she's behind that guy. And the guy turned around, she used some, her self-defense that she was taught in the military. Anyway, to make a long story short, they ended up shooting one of those pods, and as they was trying to chase her, one of those things fell out, and she was looking down and was smelling real bad. And then when she was in there earlier, she was looking at some of the stuff. There was mummified, like, doctors that just died and stuff like that, and you could tell it was some type of test facility. But anyway, these things started, one of those things that they shot a pod, and the water came out, and this thing came out, and it started. When they chased her, they told that one guy to stay there. So the one Afghanistan guy was standing there. So when he's standing there, they was chasing her all through the facility. He turns around, this thing wakes up and stands over him and just destroys him. And then it started chasing them and killing them, and she sees that it's killing them and it's going to kill her too. So she gets out. And then she gets out, and then she had radioed for help. And then by the time she came up, it looks like they was gonna get her, and then all of a sudden, her Royal Force that was stationed ended up saving her. So she got shot, and she got shot in the side, and then they took her to this outbase, and it was a place where all the rejected military guys were going there for punishment, so that's where they had to stay. So she was trying to talk them into telling them that there's this facility y'all check out, and they didn't believe him at first. And she had stolen this file, and he gave it to the sergeant. The sergeant took the file, and then he sent it to wherever I don't know if he sent it to the United States or someplace, top government official. And then when they got back with him, he's like, whoa, this is deep. So then they had a night watch, because she had to stay there. They night watched, and then these things came after him at night. And then that's how this movie takes off. So there was this nonstop action. So what they had to do, they had to band together to go to this bunker to go and try to kill these things. And that's how this movie ends up being. But man, there was some stuff in this movie that, I ain't gonna lie, I was surprised how good this movie was. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not oh my God, this is the greatest movie ever. But if you're just a person that likes to watch movies, remember the times you used to go to the video store, like Family Video or Family Video, or just like Hollywood Video, and you used to watch these movies on the weekend. Well, that's what this type of movie is. So if you are that type of person that likes movies like this, then I suggest you would thoroughly enjoy this. I really did. Matter of fact, I'm going to buy this movie. It's only $14 and so much cent. But I enjoyed this movie. It was non-stop action. And they did a good job. Don't get me wrong. It ain't no breakout, bust out, trophy-like movie. But I think they did a good job for what they worked with. It was just good to me. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So anyway, it's called The Lair. I don't know if I did tell you it's called The Lair in the beginning of this thing, because I started talking, but it's called The Lair. That's exactly what it is. It's just The Lair. It was a lair that they found. And come find out, real quick, it was the Russians that built that, because there was an alien spaceship that crashed there. And the Russians did not want nobody to know that crashed there. So the Russians started a war with the Afghanistan, so they can build this thing, so they can camouflage the fact that they was trying to use alien technology and DNA to try to make a super soldier. So anyway, God bless and take care, and we'll catch you next video. We'll see you.